Good Lord. It is crunch time, but apparently it is also high pee time. Really? On a Tuesday morning? Y'all are crazy.
That's a fast train.
That is a that's like...
Is it the express?
Okay, that's like you go to the station for your 9 o'clock and then the train pulls up at like 8:54 and you're like, why are you here, train? Train, you come later. And he said, nope, we're here now. Get on.
Is it like a Japanese train where you're expecting it to be right on time?
Of course. Of course.
Ma'am, do you remember the time we were in the station waiting for our train and something just flew by us? One of the Shinkansen?
Yes, one that didn't stop at that station.
Oh my God.
And you realized how fast they're going and you're like, oh God.
Yeah. Jess says that was wild.
It was neat.
Yeah, and I didn't know it was coming. 'Cause I had my
They're
back.
so quiet. They're so quiet.
Suddenly there's a train
all of a sudden
going
just,
by.
And you're like, it was nuts. Anyway.
It scared me.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new week. I mean, like, weeks start, I mean, depending on what your calendar looks like, Sunday or Monday. So I guess, you know, welcome. But for us, doing this.
Well,
it's
yesterday
Tuesday.
was a American holiday.
Yeah.
So.
That's true. And as Ultra Huss reminds us, days aren't real.
No.
That's true. Days, I remember there was a time when days were real. And then, collectively, we as a society decided there are no more days. Just done. Jam says, Steven, are you wearing a Junk Bot Saga t-shirt? I haven't worn this in a while, and it's in my closet. Dan got me this shirt, I think one Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I think he got me this shirt before we even watched Star Wars, maybe?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna wear this today. I haven't worn this in a while. Anyway, yeah, so there's a high P train. If anyone is new, the way that works is you do a sub, a gift sub, or
bits,
or a
certain amount of bits.
I think at least 100 bits, and then you're on the train, and then
when the train is done, you get an email.
You get a reward.
Mm-hmm.
Is how that works. And you folks have already finished level 3. Good lord. I sincerely appreciate it. Thank you. Let's jump in and read some of these. There's quite a few that came on like Sunday and Monday as well. So let's read some of this stuff so we have a pretty good handle on today, or we will be quickly looking at the 2+ hour stream. So we got some.
I'm going to bed long before them.
You're going to bed?
Mm-hmm.
We did. Last night was not ideal.
No.
Last night there was something happened. We went to bed on time.
Yeah.
On time.
Mm-hmm.
And then just some sort of restlessness took over, and it was like, couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
It was very frustrating.
There was no music next door, so...
Yeah, it was just...
And normally that doesn't happen to us.
No, we're normally really good about that, so it was really strange, but, you know... And you hit like a certain point, and then all of a sudden, after you hit the certain point, like, your brain is back awake, and it's like, and I'm awake now. And I'm like, no, don't do that.
I'm sorry, Thomas.
So...
Thomas had Bruiser talking.
Oh.
Kev was talking a little bit last night.
Oh, that's the other thing. Me and you both were asleep, but for short periods of time. And then we were up, and it was like, I don't know why we're awake.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Anyway, subs from Logan M. Johnson 727. We got a 14-month resub from Ice Chocobo. 12 months, that's a year. From Twilight Yoshi. Appreciate that. 19 months from Dan Bagan 2. 20 months from Countermaster. 21 months from Mech Mayhem. 21 months, creeping ever closer to that 2-year mark. It is insane how the time flies. Keep being awesome internet grandparents. Thank you for all the quality entertainment in this turbulent time. No problem, Mech. Happy to create. 21 months also from Cobalt Custard. Hey, that's a lot of months. It's true. 3 months from Hylian Hero 07. 3 months strong and plenty more to come. And also, congrats on your plus. 12 months, another year from Tendacrout. I did it! Love you, grandparents. Thanks for weathering the storms with us. No problem. I mean, we don't have a choice. Short of not existing on this world, you gotta deal with this. But man, what a great time to be an alien, you know?
Yeah.
To sit up in space and look down at Earth and be like,
it's nice and warm.
That's unfortunate. And just stay in your little spaceship. 300 bits from Wizard Scallion. Hi, grandparents. After months of eye migraines / not being able to see and perceive depth clearly, I have an eye exam today. I have anti-myopia. I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. Which means I have one nearsighted and one far-sighted eye. Very fun. Well, I can't relate to that, although that does sound awful. I do get eye migraines, so I can at least relate to that, and those suck. Those are terrible. I've been getting those for ever. Since I was, well, not forever, since I was in high school.
You lose your vision?
As Jules says, eye grains. Yes. I've actually called them that. Eye grains.
I get those maybe once every other year, and I just had one.
It's always a big event when Mao has one. Not
You say this like it's
well, it's an event because you never have them.
Yeah.
So it's always like, I'm having the thing, and I'm like, drink a Coke. Take a nap. It'll go away. I deal with them usually about like every month?
Yeah, I was gonna say every few weeks, I think.
Yeah, probably I probably get one once a month now, but they used to be even more frequent, so. And Mike had asked what my shirt says. It just says Star Wars, Millennium Falcon, and Rebel. And it's supposed to be a play on the classic NES game box. Game thing. You know what I mean, game thing.
Jules got them too.
Twice a week in high school. Now it's like once every other month. Were you getting? Do you get migraines or eye migraines? Because that's a big distinction. The migraines. Okay. Yeah, I meet a lot of people that get migraines and fewer people that get eye migraines. Although Dan is another person that's had eye migraines too. Oh, train pulled in the station. Your emotes are being delivered. Thank you all for riding this beep beep train. Beep beep.
Train go beep beep.
Train go beep beep. We discussed this before. The first time I discovered that I had eye migraines was fun. I was in some sort of science class, chemistry or something in high school, and I went blind and was like, I'm blind? And the teacher's like, what? I'm like, I am blind. This seems concerning. I am blind. So yeah, I called Dad, and he came to pick me up. Of course, by the time he came to pick me up, my sight had returned, but I was blind. So then that started the whole thing. But yeah, you white out. It's really weird, and it's gradual. So eventually, your entire vision is just white. Neat. But fortunately, when I was in high school, like from high school until around the time like we had been married for like a year or two, I would have a migraine with it, and then we got to 2012 or so, and like I kept getting the eye migraines, but the migraine went away. So now when I get them like once a month, no headache is associated. None. It's just can't see. Fortunately, it's not like an on-off switch. So like even if it happens while you're driving, you've got 10 15 minutes
Yeah.
before you're completely blind, so you can just be like, I'm going to stop at a gas station.
Caffeine helps, which is why... Is it Excedrin that has caffeine?
I mean, I drink a Coke.
Yeah.
It's a really good excuse to drink a Coke. Be like, well, can't see. Coke.
Excedrin's the one I don't keep because that will mess up with my body.
Yeah. Mal, get me a Coke. I can't see. 300 bits from Nixopad. Good morning, grandparents and fellow grandchildren. Today is the second day in a row where I will wake up with a migraine. So wish me luck as I wait for the painkillers to kick in. Well, good luck. Also timely. Since we're talking about migraines. 500 bits from Highly and Hero 07. Hey, Steven, I just started a YouTube channel this past month, and you've been a huge inspiration for me. Is there any advice you would give to a new creator in regards to YouTube and doing live commentary in general? I mean, so much of it comes with practice. That's like one of the big things. So you have to keep doing it, and you will get better naturally. And then the other thing is, and most people get this, but I think it can be hard if you follow a creator that has 10,000, 100,000, million subscribers or whatever, that you assume that you will get to that point, like with, I don't know, in a like some small amount of time, and like that just short of like very specific cases where there's been exponential growth. For most people, it takes years, a decade, you know. So just keep that in mind. Is that especially when you're starting, it's real slow. And as Decoy Troy says, for most people, it won't happen. So you have to keep all that into perspective. Make sure you're doing it for you. That's what I've always told people. Do it because you want to do it.
And that you're having fun doing it.
Yes.
Because that comes across.
Yes. Let's see. 7 months from NG Ben. It occurred to me that Steven from... I see. Steve from Blue's Clues always wears a green shirt, randomly bursts into song, requires help from the audience with puzzles, and does mail time. So I wanted to hear you say these words. Blues could do, we can do, boop.
I have not seen much of Blue's Clues.
Strangely, I was born at a time that would put me at the wrong age to watch Blue's Clues. Like, I was too old for it. And yet I've seen so much of it because it had something to do with the scheduling time that it was on, that I just watched it. So even though I was like, I don't know, like 7 or 8, I was like, yeah, I'll watch Blue's Clues. So I've seen a bunch of it. 3 months from that gamer gerbil. Glad to be back. Work at Walmart is a little crazy, but mostly back to normal. Well, that's good. Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting for toilet paper to return.
Yeah.
But most everything is getting back to normal. There's going to be some, like, price changing on the meat, but we haven't seen that quite yet. We just know it's coming. 21 months from Space Vixen Music. 21! Time for Jack Black. Caught me off guard. Suddenly, Raisin Toast. Time for Jack Black to come and bless my house. Wait, no, 21 is Blackjack, isn't it? Oh, well. Happy Christmas to you both. Let's make today a good day. 21 is the Blackjack number. Man, also...
You have not played many card games, have you?
No, but I played Blackjack. And it's funny because of all of the things I could have been reminded of... Also, Mike saying, wasn't Blue's Clues early 2000? You wouldn't have been 7. Oh, God. How old was I? I guess I was like 11 or 12. Anyway, I was too old for it. Blackjack reminds me of Super Mario RPG. Because there's a casino that we'll eventually get to. Jules says, still have to make that metal Raisin Toast metal cover. I like how you used the word metal twice. Like it wasn't metal enough to put the word metal in once.
Brandon, when you play blackjack, you have to count to 21 and say, I have the blackjack number.
Brandon's played blackjack before. And Jill says it's going to be really metal. Double metal. Extra metal.
Metal with a serving of metal.
When you say it like that, it sounds like someone's going to eat. Like metal shavings.
The Raisin Toast.
Sure. 30 bits from Nixelpad. Also, I ordered a new 1,000-piece puzzle off of Amazon last night, and it looks so pretty. Should get here on Sunday, meaning I'll have to wait a few days before I get to work on it.
I want to do the puzzle that's like the whole rainbow gradient. Like the Photoshop color picker tool.
Do we have that?
No, we don't.
Oh.
But I like it.
I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure right now the puzzles that we have on the shelf is the incredibly sadistic all-black one.
Yeah.
And then like
Some
six
cat puzzles.
6 puzzles of cats.
Yeah.
Anyway, we ordered something off of Amazon last night. It was wall patch.
Yeah.
We have a very tiny hole. Very tiny.
It's not tiny. It's like this and then like long. It's around the dryer vent. And it bugs me. A lot.
It's never been a concern until yesterday.
Like, I could get my fingers into it.
Never been
like,
a concern
that's how
until
big
yesterday.
It's been there since we've moved in. It was a concern a few weeks ago. I almost had you order something then.
Really? You never mentioned it to me.
It's because it was like 2 a.m. and you were asleep. And I wasn't sleeping because I was thinking about it.
Mallory has an anxiety. And, you know, things affect her and prevent her from sleeping. And, you know, yesterday, one of the things... Thomas, love to be nervous at 2 a.m.
That's a mood.
One of the things that happened yesterday, which was not ideal for her, and I knew when we found it, I was like, this is gonna be a problem. We took a walk yesterday, and when we were taking a walk, we found a copperhead. It was an adolescent copperhead. He had been run over, so it was dead. But like when
it was not a threat.
It was not a threat. It was dead. But when we saw it, I was thinking, yeah, this might. Hopefully Mal forgets all about this.
Yeah, right.
Because, like, where we live, like, we have them. We have all the venomous snakes. It's just a thing that happens. But, you know, you forget that they're there, and then sometimes you see that they're there, and then, of course, Mal was bringing it up, and then we were in the laundry room, she's like, there's a hole. I'm like, yeah, but we've lived here for a year. There's always been a hole.
It doesn't go all the way to the outside.
Yeah.
It just goes into the wall. And there's an abyss, and I'm reminded at 4 a.m. about the hole in the wall and the snake we saw today, and I'm like, that hole needs to get plugged up right now.
When you're laying in bed, you realize that the abyss could be a snake abyss. Just a pit of snakes. Indiana Jones style, that's where they live. And they're going to be coming out of the walls any moment.
I didn't say anxiety brain was rational. In fact,
I have lived with anxiety brain. Not my anxiety brain, I have lived with your anxiety brain for how many years? How many years?
If it had been a garter, it would have been fine, but it was a copperhead.
They live here.
I know. We have corals, we have rattlesnakes, water moccasins.
We have the whole bunch.
Hi, buddy. You're a good... We have gators, we have sharks. Someone caught a hammerhead shark.
I promise you there's no gators in the wall.
I know that.
It's just...
Someone caught a hammerhead the other day off the pier. It was released. But there's a video of it, like, swimming around.
That's it. Please.
Good boy.
Good boy. Anyway, don't want to spend too much time on that because there are many alerts this morning. 11 months at tier 2, sired Tycho Pump. I'm sired. Tired Psycho Pump 91.
You're sired.
11 months. Given the state of everything, time has lost all relative meaning, and it feels like it's been both longer than that and significantly shorter. So that's neat, I guess. I hardcore agree with that. The weeks are passing like days to me, and yet also it has been 100 years or 1,000. I mean, you know, past a certain point, people get what I'm saying. 300 bits from Literal Space Queen. Good morning, grandparents. It's my 22nd birthday today, and also my first bit cheer. I can't think of a better way than to spend my birthday with my grandparents and cousins. I hope everyone has an awesome day.
Happy birthday.
happy birthday. I hope that your birthday is as good as can be, all things considered. Which I think is about the best that you can wish folks right now. 300 bits from Squid, who says, it's going to be 90 degrees today, and I have to still wear a mask at work while the day will be its hottest. Hooray for snow at the beginning of the month, heat wave at the end.
Wow.
God, it snowed at the beginning of May for you?
Yeah, it did, like in Maine, Wisconsin got snow this month.
I'm just trying to think of
Chess,
the last
did you
time...
get snow this month?
The last time it snowed here.
Oh, that was over a year ago. We didn't get snow this winter.
Yeah, we don't do the snow. Max says it snowed up until last week here in mid-Norway. Well, I mean, Norway, you've got like this mental image of there's gonna be snow. Oh, thank you, Spark Strike. Got 10 milk bombs happening. Yeah, there's yeah, we haven't seen snow in forever. It didn't even...
One of the years we lived in the Blue Wall house, it was real cold that winter. Like, the pond froze over.
Blue house. Yeah.
I and then the next year it was like one day of flurries, and then since we've lived here, no. Not much.
Yeah. It did get cold enough to snow here.
Yeah, it did.
Because there was a few times on the phone, it was like the little icon.
With
like,
snow, but we
like,
didn't get
any. And then it never happened.
Yeah.
It's fine. 12 months at tier 2. Being careful for him. Gold Toast from Tenderkraut. Thank you, Tenderkraut. Appreciate that. Penguin Frog gives a sub to Linkmaster FD. Appreciate it. Thank you, Quinn. 21 months from Strawberry Flavored. It's been quite some time since I could last tune in for a breakfast stream. Shift changed at work to the afternoon, so now I have time to watch. Oh, cool. So now you can tune in. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else is good? You're here for beans. Have beans. Too many people in chat giving the beans. You can have beans. So, enjoy. Mr. Game says, do you want to sing about your news or announce it? I do need to announce the news. I thought I was going to be the first one to announce the news because we had agreed to announce the news on Tuesday. But then,
oh, that news.
But then John decided he would just do it yesterday. In his defense, when he announced it, it was probably technically Tuesday. So I guess
that's fine.
I guess technically he did it. But sure, I'll tell people because I'll probably be able to articulate better if I use my words and not my song. The disc-only podcast featuring Jared, Tom, John, and myself will have its first episode a week from today. Next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern over on John's Twitch channel. We will be doing a 1-hour podcast.
And it's going to be live on his channel at 9 Eastern.
Yes, it'll be live on Twitch, but then it will be coming courtesy of Dan, who's doing the behind-the-scenes stuff to make sure that it's edited well and sounds good and stuff. Coming to all of the places that you would listen to a podcast. So, I don't know what those are because I don't listen to podcasts, but sing about it. Hope you're looking forward to the podcast next week. It is going to be a very big thing. Maybe, I don't know, but we're doing it once a month. And if you don't like it, then come back on Tuesday and Thursday for Crunch. Come back here for Crunch. Because then the podcast co-star is Mao. So if at any point you're like, you know what? Don't want to listen to Tom, Jared, and John. We got you covered here. I like how before we even do the first one...
Carlos said 4 out of 10.
Listen, Carlos. Listen. I watched you do the songs. You did pretty good. I watched your little, the end of your segment. That really ran the gamut there. Some people gave 2, some said 7. Got an 8. Okay. I would have given it like a 4 or 5. That's fine. Yeah, before we even do the first one, I'm already telling people, don't worry. If it's bad, just come back here. That was 5,000 for Mr. Game Boy 18. Yeah, disc only next week, 9 p.m. Eastern, and then coming to wherever you listen to podcasts. I don't know what it's called. iTunes?
Some people,
yeah. Is that still a thing? iTunes? Okay. 4 months.
Some of it's on Spotify. Some people listen on, like, Stitcher. I don't know.
Okay. Took off points because week does not end with thing. Yeah, well, it was a night. It's fine. It's fine. Did you know that one of the reasons I couldn't sleep was because
you were thinking about camera equipment so we could record something else?
That was, yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about right now. My brain is always going. So
I know.
That's always like, but one of the things that was like nonstop. Oh, Dan's here. Dan will just tell you. iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. I don't know what the last one is, but Dan knows. Dan's got it under control. Also, morning, Dan. The other reason I couldn't sleep is that, like, and this has been a problem since we introduced improv songs on Twitch.
Yeah.
Like back when we were doing the haircut song and it was too fast.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes that it gets stuck in my head and my brain just starts like doing it. And some of them are really good. And I'm like, well, why can't this happen when I'm like during the show? Why is it while I'm laying here in bed? Darn it. 4 months from Penta D33. 4 months of toast. Never tasted so good. I actually haven't had toast in a while.
We have a lot of bread. I don't know why you had Pop-tarts. They're good forever.
Because we have so many Pop-tarts.
They're good a lot longer than the bread is.
I'm aware of that, but we just, you know.
I froze half of the bread, don't worry.
Okay. Instead of a dream journal, Stephen has an improv song journal. I should do that, actually. Maybe I should start writing that stuff down. Padawan Becca gives a sub to JGhosty03. Thank you, Becca. 12 months. Can you clap for me? Thank you. From Lunar Boy OW, woo, 1 year. Been subscribed for this long, but have been a viewer for a few years longer. Thank you, Steve and Mal, your friends in the community, for being a good part of my life. Here's to many more years ahead. Wish you all safety and good health. Well, thank you. It's been, you know, it's been a trying year, but as far as, like, health goes, it's been pretty good year for health. Like, stuttering through that to make sure that it has been. But overall, could it have been worse? Yeah, there's been worse years for health. 21 months from Dishnet. 21 months, my subscription can legally drink. Woo! Keep up the great work, y'all. Well, thank you, Dishnet. Appreciate it. 100 bits from Cobalt. 300 bits from Danny X6. Boop. 300 bits from Am in Iowa. Good morning, everyone. Hope your day goes well from here on out. 600 bits from Denderkraut. Says, hi again. Bits for the train this time. Love you. Oh, yeah, the train. I was like...
That's, yeah.
The train was before the show began. That's true. Florelia with the 10 milk bombs. Subs to Tiger's Revenge, White 15 Wolf, Mochadex, Underbaked Cookies, Aleli 1810-7, BG Christian 1, Key Noi, Phoenix Zuzo, Orange King 1997, and Vadria. Thank you, Florelia. Brandon with the 20 months. It says, for some reason, Twitch is asking me to share my sub 25 days after I subbed. But let's not try to understand the mysterious ways in which Twitch works. Oh, it's mysterious. It causes many headaches for Chaz. And occasionally for me. Because I'm like, why doesn't this work how I want it to work? It just doesn't. Chaz got that face.
Chaz has a face.
I've seen it. I've seen his face. 500 bits from Penguin Frog. Was having a crappy morning, but this community has lifted my mood, even if it is still excessively hot in the office.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oof. I hope that it cools down? I mean, it's probably not. If it's the morning and it's going to move to the afternoon. Maybe get like one of them little fans. They got them little like desk fans you clip to your desk. Might be something to look into.
I know when I was teaching, my building was really old, and it would either be way too hot or way too cold.
I can't work up here anymore if I don't have the fan on.
Yeah.
Like I keep the room fan on now most of the time. Like in the mornings I can get away with it. By the time afternoon hits, nope, can't do it.
I told you we gotta get a fan for the bottom of the stairs to blow the cold air up here. And it'll help cycle the house better.
I don't want to do that. No part of me wants there to be a giant box fan at the bottom of the stairs for the rest of my life. I'm like,
just for the summer.
No, I don't.
It's only May.
I will survive.
Until maybe September.
I will survive. I'll survive. I got this fan.
What if we got one on the post so it's like...
Because then it's big, and then like when I go down, I gotta like walk around it.
It will be right in front of the pantry, which sucks.
Exactly. And what if he puts his little paw in it?
It's gonna be up in the air.
Sorry, this is... Jill said, Steven, did you know that you're close to the Myers-Briggs type as Shrek?
Is he referencing your tweet to Adri with the bingo sheet?
I guess, yes. He's using that as an opportunity to compare me to Shrek, which, you know, is not really an insult. Shrek's a pretty stand-up guy.
We practically live in the swamp.
Does that make you Donkey? No?
I mean, if you're Shrek, that would make me Fiona.
Oh. Listen, I saw the first one. And that's it. I saw the first one. I don't remember. I just thought, you know, who's Shrek's best friend? Donkey. I'm like, well, you're my best friend, so you're a donkey. Anyway, 150 bits from Umbreon Studios.
Jill says Jepson is donkey.
Yeah, I believe that. Thank you, Umbreon. 300 bits from Andrew in the kitchen. Got some toasty bits for a toasty high P train. When the pea's on fire. Oh, God, the smell. 1,000 bits from Joshua F36. Summer vacation has started and online college is almost done. 2 credits left for my degree. Cool, getting close.
And back to bed. His ear itched. He had to shake his head.
Gotta wake up, shake my head, and
back to bed.
A strange, strange animal. Thank you, Joshua. 100 bits from NG Ben. 300 bits from Nixelpad. Hi P. Also, I ordered some Mod Podge so I could seal together my puzzle I showed y'all on Twitter. A Thomas Kincaid one I got from my grandmother. My 1,000-piece Mockingjay pin puzzle I finished when I was 18, and this new one coming up. Very cool. I guess that puzzles don't really stick together very well unless you, like, seal them.
Yeah.
Short of it being a really industrial puzzle. Do they make a puzzle that it's like a normal puzzle, but then also, like, there's holes and you put, like, screws and stuff in? So it's like a mechanics puzzle. Normal puzzle, but it's made of metal, and you, like... For a minute, I thought that you were trying to think, like, yeah, I've seen that once before, but then instead you went a different direction. I just thought that'd be kind of neat. Wouldn't that be kind of neat for someone in your life who loves metal? Jules would love that. And in part of putting it together is you have all these little screws, and you need a drill, and you go through it. Okay, so maybe this isn't as good of an idea as I thought.
IKEA furniture? It's a good idea, Ryan.
I mean, it's basically, yeah. It'd be like that, but it'd be a puzzle. Like, there'd be an image. But it wouldn't be like color. It would be etched it'd be a metal etching. It's what it would be. I've got ideas. 21 months at tier 2, Drek. Good morning, grandparents. Almost to 2 years. Thank you, Drek. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. 18 months, that's 1 plus from Incarnata 95. Yeah, 18 months. Hope you have a great day, grandparents. Also, happy belated birthday, Kepi. Aw.
It was Kepi's birthday.
It was.
On Sunday.
Yep, it was Kep's birthday on Sunday and Rocco's birthday on Saturday. Rocco turned 14, and Kep turned 8. Little stinker, you're getting older, and still as tired as ever. Did he destroy the bacon? Not completely, but he's very much enjoyed it.
There's a lot of, like, crinkle in the bacon, and yesterday I was painting, and I heard something crinkling, and I thought you were eating chips, because it sounds like a chip egg, and I was like, hey, Steven, come here, and you didn't respond, and I was like, hey, and you weren't, and I just heard the crinkling, and I was like, and then it occurred to me it was Kepler.
I'm sorry, hold on. You thought I came downstairs and just stood in the kitchen and ate chips?
Yeah.
I have things to do. I don't have time to just sit in the kitchen and eat chips. I would bring the chips up here. A strange thought. 10 months from the YOLP. Thank you, YO. Got a gift subs here. 5 subs from TachiGamer96 to Uncooked Lived, Uxorial Cashew, DL Drago, Calum2302, and Poisonous Daisy. Appreciate it. Thank you. 15 months from Hella Mozzarella 13. 15 months of Crunch. Today starts my final day of college, taking my last credits online because of that Rona messing up my plans. Well, congrats on that.
Mm-hmm.
So many people have, like, just finished college or are about to finish college. Our very own Carlos just finished. I say that like he's our son.
He's our grandson.
He is our grandson. Our grandson, Carlos, he went to school and he did the toot-toot. And now he has a degree on the toot-toot. Also, thank you, Stoner, for that milk bomb. So many milk bombs this morning. Anyway, 300 bits from Shishisama, who says, got my coffee and waffles and hopping on the train. Hop on the train to get your waffle. 300 bits from Satsy says, no Pop-tart, only coffee. Honk.
Coffee's good.
It's going to take me forever to eat the... I have 2 today. I thought we were going to split it, but then you had yogurt.
I have a lot of yogurt.
Yeah. You know, oh my goodness, I just remembered we have pudding.
Yeah, we have pudding.
You
have to put some in the fridge.
Yep, it's better in the fridge.
Mm-hmm.
Jules wants me to mail him a Pop-tart. Listen. No. Just go buy a Pop-tart. You know, you can buy Pop-tarts individually.
Where?
Gas stations.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Yep. Dad, I'm scared of gas stations. You'll be fine. Which Pop-tart do I buy? The packaging that speaks to you. Okay, actually, you can't buy a single Pop-tart. They come in double packs.
Yeah.
There are still 2. At no point did they decide that there should be...
Just pop a Pop-tart
one
in the mailbox.
Okay, here I go.
Well, can't you just mail a banana by, like, putting a big sticker on it? And just put a big sticker on a Pop-tart thing.
The Postal Service will mail a banana?
Yeah.
I feel bad for the Postal Service.
Yeah.
That would be a terrible thing to do to them. That thing would get crushed and destroyed. Anyway.
Yeah, just stick it in a flat rate box. It's much better.
Mr. Gameboy with the 10 subs. Thank you, Mr. Gameboy. To Toasted Puck, Umbro Ambassador, Yoshi Boots, Mud Kiplings, Drago, Akiyorara, Chris Mitch, Worshipper of Amaterasu, Dr. Coop, and The Real Rhine Time. Took me a while to get through some of those words, but I got there. Appreciate the milk bombs. Also, 5 milk bombs from Murmur, to Hunter Dwarf, Ryuki Styles, Marco Fanboy, Critizes, and JT Bub. What does Bub remind me of? Oh, Bub. Literally Bub. Bubs. From Homestar.
Oh.
Hey, Homestar! That was an attempt. 100 bits from Padawan Becca. Appreciate it. 500 from Sparkstrike 13. My local Walmart had Pop-tarts on sale, so of course I bought 3 boxes. Chocolate chip Pop-tarts are really good, turns out.
Sound good.
I've never had those kind. Are they new? Because, like, they don't seem... Have those, like, existed for a while? I don't know. Oh, Sab's here. Good morning, Sab. We're just talking about Pop-tarts. Never happened before. Never discussed Pop-tarts on this show. At some point, we should probably reach out for a Pop-tart sponsorship. We've been doing a lot of Pop-tart chatting. You know, we were talking about getting all the Pop-tarts and trying them?
Yeah.
And then immediately after...
Someone did that? Mm-hmm.
ProZD ordered 29 boxes of Pop-tarts, and I'm like... You do it. You let us know how it is.
See, it'd be better during, like, a chef con where we could do that and then, like, cut them, and then everyone could have, like, a small bite of each, and
Agreed.
Then compare them all.
Agreed.
Yeah.
He hated most all of them.
Except the Simply ones.
See,
we could just force this upon our friends.
When
we can see them next.
I historically like food. Like, I'm pretty easy to please.
The only food provided at ChefCon. Noah.
That would be great, to be honest. Chaz would never talk to us again. 100 bits from Macau 2020, and also 100 bits from One Danger Zone 1. Thank you both. 21 months from Spiffla. I guess my Twitch baby can drink now. Wait, months aren't years. Well, good morning, everyone. Clearly, I haven't had my coffee this morning yet. I haven't had quite enough, but I'm working towards it. And I'm waking up a little bit. A little bit. 500 bits from Tards Like Font. Train go beep beep. It do.
It do.
It very much do. 300 bits from Prince.
Ocular is snoring.
He is. 300 bits from Prince, who says, Hype Train, I'm running on 4 hours of sleep because I stayed up till 4 a.m. working on the shading of Pikmin 3 boss name here. And I realized to match the detail I did for it, I need to shade just as well for the captain name here, so that they don't look out of place. And yeah, it looks honking awesome, but I am not looking forward to what I've done to myself. Well, it's nice to, staying up is not generally the best thing, but whenever you have a creative endeavor that you're working on, it's nice. And you feel accomplished. Like sometimes I've stayed up late to work on like a video thing, and then I go to bed and I'm like, I did a thing. Good job, me. I did a thing. Better than going to bed and just like tossing and turning for hours. 300 bits from Ollie Tomlinson. I got up early to go on a 6-mile bike ride today, listening to Weird Al, oddly relaxing during this time of madness.
That sounds nice.
That does sound nice. Remember bikes?
Yeah. Ours need to be, like, tuned up.
Yeah. They're not okay.
Yeah. And that's not happening right now.
No, it's not. But I do enjoy walking.
Yeah, walking's been nice.
Walking is like riding a bike but slower, so.
Yeah.
It's really basically the same thing. 200 bits from Doan, 2300. Thank you. Appreciate it. We got a 12 months. 12 months. Oh. Thank you.
I forgot.
Thank you.
You're the one who always does it.
How do you forget? We've been doing this for years.
You're the one who always does it. I ignore you. You do things and I'm just like...
I ignore you, Mallory 2020. Cool. A year from TTV Link. Has it been 1 year already? Well, time flies when you're watching, having fun? I don't think that's how it goes. Either way, I'm glad to be supporting you on Twitch and Patreon since you're my 2 favorite people to watch. Here's to another year. Here's to another year. I'm looking forward to... So 2020 has been, problematic. That being said, I'm looking forward to the end side of 2020. The objectively better side. Objectively better side! Objectively better side. First half of 2020, second half of 2020, and I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, here's to another year. And honestly, the better part. Don't jinx us. There'd have to be, not that it's impossible for the second half of 2020 to be worse, but statistically, probably not. Probably be better. 500 bits from One Winged Angel 30. Hello, it's Jared from Boston. Oh man, hey.
I remember you.
It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
I would like for you to play Half-Life Alyx by 2022. Oh yes, breakfast. At some point, I'll play Alyx. Dan's been playing Alyx. I don't think Dan's beaten Alyx. He's close.
That's the last I heard.
Like, he's close. But if you want to watch someone within our friend group play Alyx, you can check out Dan's past streams, because he's been working his way through it. At some point, I would like to play it. I'm just not sure when I'm going to do it. Sometime soon. And also, thanks for being here. I remember talking to having a conversation with Jared, where I was desperately telling him about a They Might Be Giant song that was from the new album, and I was like trying to recall the name, and like we were on our way somewhere, but I was like, no, I've got to tell you the name of the song, and then pulling up on my phone because I couldn't remember the name of the song, like going through and trying to find, like searching the lyrics until I could figure out what the song was, because I was like, it's just such a good song. And in my defense, it was a good song. It was a really good song. 18 months. Yeah, it was When the Lights Go On. Okay, great. I'm glad that we... I'm glad that you remember. Yes, I loved that. That's like, that whole album is great, but that song is really good. And it really stuck out to me as like one of the best tracks on the album. I think it's my favorite one. Anyway, 18 months from Ruby Wolf, 1096. There's not a 0, so 196. Hi, I'm awake for breakfast stream for once. Welcome. I'm glad that you're up. And also, you got the 1+. Warner Bits from Back in Red. As a fellow fluffy-haired person, your pompadour thing on Twitter made me do it myself, and the results were questionable. After posting that, there were some people in the replies that said, it looks like your hair is giving a thumbs up.
It did. It was like... And
I had not seen it until they mentioned it, and I was like, oh my god, it does. And it looks like my hair is like, yeah. So if you ever need a response image to people of a thumbs up, and it needs to be hair related, that's a very particular request, but I've got you covered. Now we have to work on yours.
No.
Okay. 100 bits from Sam Stargazer. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. 16 months from NeoMan17. I don't watch very often, but when I do, I always enjoy it. Thanks for all the things you do. Aw, well, you are welcome. I enjoy doing the things that I do. 18 months from Kindle Katie. My cat seems to have forgotten that the sun comes up earlier and earlier as we get closer to 24 hours of daylight, so I've been up since 3 a.m. due to him thinking that since the sun is up, his human is supposed to be up. But at least I get to catch the stream.
That has to be rough.
I didn't even think about the fact that, like, you know, a pet would be like, well...
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Sun's up. Food and bowl. I'm sorry about that. Still, it must be very interesting to live with that. Like, getting closer and closer to 24 hours of daylight. I think I would do... I mean, you'd have to have blackout curtains, but I think otherwise I would do okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, we have blackout curtains, and when the sun is up, it's still pretty... It's too bright for me.
Better blackout curtains.
Yeah.
Better.
The ones we have up here are better. They're dual layered.
Jill says, it's pretty much my everyday now. I wake up at 3 and demand food in my bowl. There you go.
What's the comic with the cat? Then it's just like, meow. Simon's Cat.
Simon's Cat,
Or he's just kind of like...
That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
20 months from Xenomonocles. 20. Thank you, Xeno. 14 months from Wildfire972. Good morning. I just finished rewatching the Ocarina of Time LP, and I'm still laughing at Dan's snark during the Goron special crop fiasco. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I was convinced as a child that the Gorons grew hammers.
Oh, buddy stretch.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Sometimes things just, you know, they stick out to you as a kid.
They don't click in your head.
And they don't click forever. Forever. And then as an adult, you say it, and everyone's like, that's stupid. And you're like, what? Hammers, the Goron's biggest export. Thank you, Jacket. 11 months from Gold Mage, who says, so my Twitch baby is 2 months old today. I explained to them today that sea lions are in the eared seal family, differentiated from true seals by their external ear flaps and rotatable hind flippers that allow them to walk on land. Shout out to any sea creature that walks on land.
Octopus.
Especially them. Especially them. Oh, hi, bud.
What you doing, Cappy?
What you doing? You awake? You definitely cozy. He's cozy for sure. 1,500 bits from Vince Fanfix. The raisin toast alert that caught me off guard. It made me laugh. Thank you, Vince. 200 bits from Wolfie Spawn. Appreciate it. 15 months from Goombario says 15 months is a lot of months. It's true. It's even more than a year. You are licking the keyboard. Not purposefully, but it's where his paw is, and he's okay. He keeps licking the edge. Don't lick this, honey. It's probably gross. I touched it, and I'm gross. 300 bits from Prince, who says, because I just had a Samoa with my cereal for breakfast, I have a question for you. Perhaps it's a good question for a breakfast poll. What is your favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Samoa.
I've always loved the Samoas, despite never caring for coconut. Steven, I'm thinking you're either Samoa or Thin Mint, and Mao, I'm guessing you're either a Tagalong or Thin Mint. I was a Girl Scout. I know how popular the mints are. They're a semi-safe guess. The only ones I liked as a kid.
Well, they were caramel delights to me because of Wisconsin.
Yeah, there's regional differences. Yeah. The only ones we ever got when I was a kid was the Tagalongs, right? That's the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tagalongs.
See, those were also one that had a different name, and they were peanut butter patties.
Yeah. And you can't eat them or you'll die.
No, but I only discovered I had a peanut allergy in high school.
So
when I was a Girl Scout, which was like elementary and middle school.
You were eating them.
Yeah, they were my favorite.
So you loved peanut butter until the peanut butter didn't love you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Have you ever considered doing, like the very gradual increase to try and get that back?
But
you just don't care enough?
I'm not that allergic to peanut butter. Like, Carrie and EpiPen allergic, not that bad.
I know. But, like, you still get sick.
Yeah.
Like, capital S sick. And you can't eat it.
Yeah.
So it's just, would you like to eat it again?
Kind of. Yeah, don't they have a new thing to help people with, like, peanut allergies? Like, there's a medicine or something. It's basically just like where you start to do smaller or bigger and bigger amounts.
Just eat some and jab the drugs in your leg, yeah.
Anyway, there's something I saw recently about it and how they're developing things for it. But I'm a good candidate for peanuts with that.
Yeah. You could probably get back to...
Yeah.
Eating them, like, if you really wanted to.
My latex allergy is bad. That's like hospitalization bad.
Yeah.
So.
But not
peanuts.
Not peanuts. Anyway. Tagalongs. 12 months.
Sorry.
I'm going to make you do all of them today. 12 months from Dr. Luigi 51. Snakes are my biggest fear. Unlucky because I live in Australia. Snake Abyss is quite literally the stuff of my nightmares.
Oof.
I fortunately don't have a fear of snakes. It's like a respect thing. It's like, if I see a snake, I'm gonna respect it and be like, you chill and I'll chill and we'll chill together. And if I saw a venomous snake that was, on my property, then I would probably remove it. Get it removed.
Get it removed.
Get it removed. Yeah. And part of me is like, I could ask Dad to deal with it, but I'm like, no.
No.
I think, no offense to my father. I know he's probably watching. Hi, Dad. No offense. I think we're probably past that. A little safer if Dad's not the one dealing with the snakes now.
Just call animal control.
Yeah, for those who don't know, my dad worked for the
city.
The city, doing like water meter readings and things like that, and had to. I mean, I don't know how many hundreds of snakes, thousands of snakes my dad has dealt with, doing that, because snakes love to be in the water meters, because
they're in the ground here.
Yeah,
there's like little pits that they have, and you lift the lid up, and
so like all the time, like lifting the lid, like there would be snakes in there. So he got used to moving snakes around. So anytime we had snakes at home, he would just deal with it, let them go, or not if they were a venomous snake. But we don't really see them much here. Seeing that snake on the road yesterday, this is the first time we've seen one in forever.
Dad says hi.
Hi, Dad. Anyway, so
I feel like the last time we saw a snake here was when Steph and Steve were visiting. That really big one by our air conditioner in the apartment.
Yep. And also we saw a...
and they said that one had come... I think it was a rat snake. It came up out of the swamp because of the hurricane that we had just had. Because the swamp was real flooded.
There's just snakes. They just exist. You're gonna see them. It's kind of the... And also we saw a baby snake that was alive once while walking.
It was a little like rope snake or something.
It was a little tiny thing. A little tiny noodle, like this long. Just
it looked like a shoelace.
Yeah, it looked like a little tiny shoelace. So, anyway, 300 bits from Wizard Scallion. Steven, do you have definitive proof that there aren't tiny alligators in the abyss? No. I guess I don't have definitive proof, but there can't be. No, ain't no gators in there. Ain't no gators in there. Probably. 3 months from Shining Phoenix Heart. Haven't been able to watch in a while, but now I have Tuesdays off, so now I can catch more breakfast streams. Excitement noises. Oh, good. I'm glad that you can join us on Tuesdays. Which day's better for breakfast stream? Tuesdays or Thursdays? Or are they literally identical?
They're literally identical.
Nothing says breakfast like bees! I'm just imagining Oprah, but she's like, reach under your chair.
There's a GIF that someone edited.
It's a bowl of cereal.
Where she's like, bees! And
oh yeah, that's why I said that. But it's breakfast, so there's got to be like a breakfast food. Spark Strike 13 with the 10 milk bombs to Niji 10 Forever 67, Ree Yost, Little Sandwich, Juicy Berry, My Less Super 21, Hippo 40582, Jam Hollisfields, Starman 67, 88 Cheshire 88, and Masayume 101. Spark Strike, thank you. Appreciate it. 8 months from Sophisticated Stoner says, beans? Coffee beans? Eat them beans. Get the caffeine. And then probably wash them down with something because it'd be a little gritty. 300 bits from Maximin says, my province of Nova Scotia hasn't had a white Christmas in 7 years. We're trying to set a Canadian record and get to 10. Interesting.
I wonder why, because Nova Scotia is like...
We haven't had a white Christmas in 7 years either.
Because Maine gets white Christmases.
Actually, we did snow on Christmas sometime here.
I don't remember.
But it's probably been longer than 7 years ago. We have the opposite problem. It's like, oh man, it's 80 degrees on Christmas. Which honestly I would prefer if I had the choice. 300 bits from Elena. So hour-long podcast, does that mean it's twice the length of breakfast stream? Because that's half an hour, right? Also, too bad we can't get songs on John's channel. That's right, you can't get songs on John's channel, and please don't ask if you can, because he could probably figure it out. But that's not what we're doing. I don't need people forcing me to sing over there too. Only here. But yeah, the podcast is going to be pretty strict. Like, it's an hour. It's not going to be something that goes along that has a variable length, like breakfast stream. So we'll be talking, and then when we hit an hour, we stop. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. It's going to be basically the Seinfeld of podcasts. There is no plan. We discussed, like, should there be a plan? And it was like, no. And I'm like, all right. Learned a bit from Nixelpad, so I know Hoedown is a new and recent alert, but what are your thoughts about implementing the minigame song from Ocarina of Time? Minigame song. Trying to think how that goes. Oh, like the one where you're doing the Cuco, not the Cuco, the little mouse that runs up the walls. Oh, Jules, that's helpful. Na 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 Ocarina of Time. Bomb chew, that's the word I'm looking for. It's vaguely playing in my head. Maybe I already know the next song I'm going to be adding. It's just a matter of doing it, and spacing them out, because there's not going to be like, we're not going to add new songs every single week. But eventually, I've talked with Chaz about this, but like one of the long-term goals is that there will be a variety of songs, and then people can like use a keyword or something to basically decide what tune plays. So people will have kind of like a selection of stuff to make us sing. That could be fun. So, but I already know what the next one will be. It's just a matter of doing it. I'll probably do it within the next few weeks. I'll probably debut on like a Friday or something. And Jules says, live improv music next Coliseum. I think that could be fun. It's like the idea. So whenever I do streams, I always understand that anything could happen. I could be required to sing, but it's fun. I do enjoy it. But I also know that in the context of the stream, that it's a very small part. So like the idea of like an entire segment, like 1 hour of that, is like somewhat anxiety-inducing, because I'm like, that is a lot.
Incorporate other things into it, and also it's not all you. You could have Jules do some, or Carlos is practicing.
Carlos did good. Yeah, so it's possible. We can make incentives for other people to do improv. Force people that do not do it to do it. That's the most fun.
No, it's
for
not.
Me.
It's not.
That's what we need. Like, Emil, sing a song, go. What would come out? I don't know.
I think he'd be down for it, though.
Oh yeah. He's very much... Emil is very much, thankfully, a willing participant in madness.
Yeah, he is.
Which is nice. So he's willing to do it. I mean, it was like whenever I ran the idea by him to do the GTA stream. Mm-hmm. And he was like, yeah, let's do that. And
that was great.
That's honestly one of the most fun streams I've ever done. It was great. If you haven't seen that, it's on. I think we uploaded the VOD to Stephen Plays. It's worth watching. It's got a lot of really good moments. Anyway, 8 months from Zelda Master 702. I'll be catching the VOD later, but I just want to thank you guys for all you do. Glad to be part of the community, even if most of the time I'm a lurker. Lurkers are just as important. They make the community. Function. So here's a fun thing to do. Raise your hand if you're a lurker. Like, I don't think you count.
I am, though.
Because I know they're here. Jules. Because I know they're here. There's a lot of people that, they tend to watch the show, and they're not necessarily always in the chat. but there's a lot of names that you may not see normally in the chat. They say very little, but they're here and they're watching, and they're usually watching, every week. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here, and most importantly, I sincerely hope that you enjoy watching. I hope that this is a really fun way for you to start Tuesdays and Thursdays. We've enjoyed doing it, and we hope that the folks enjoy watching. So, here's to the lurkers. Man, we've done really well. Look at this. There are bits from Noah, who says, I can't wait to have some solid eggs after this. God!
No!
You know what? Everyone's allowed to eat eggs however they want. Also, that's not even an insane statement. That's like a normal statement. In fact, trying to argue against that makes me crazy. There's a little mini feud happening between, me and my community, and then also me and my mods.
Yeah, mostly
my mods.
Yeah.
We've been having...
And Chaz.
Who is technically a mod.
Yeah.
Just a lot of opinions. A lot of egg opinions.
Many egg opinions.
Toonlink says, here we go again. I'm not gonna devote a lot of time to this. All eggs are valid. Eggs can be prepared a variety of ways, and they're all delicious.
But you prefer them.
Actually, I take it back. There's one that's not. When you burn the egg, when the egg is entirely brown, I have strong opinions about this. Everyone should be allowed to make eggs however they want. Although, at one point, you're ruining the egg. You can get the same effect without all the burn. Anyway, 300 bits from Side Rose 97. Good morning. First time I've ever caught one of these live. Well, welcome, Rose. It's this is a pretty typical one, so now you know exactly what you're in for. Thea Hex with the 9 months. Hey, I didn't realize I was up to this many. Lost track of it after finishing my first year of college. Better late than never. But yay! I don't know if you've talked about it yet, but are you guys excited about the Mother comic? Yes, although you told me that they're not shipping to the US.
I think they're starting to change things. All I know is in my Hobonichi Techo group, which is the company that's probably going to be producing that.
Yep.
You can't get stuff from Hobonichi right now. Because they're, something with Japan Post is, they're not shipping to America. Mm-hmm. So Hobonichi's we're not going to work on those orders right now. And I think they're refunding some of them for Techo stuff.
So, are they going to eventually do it?
Well, I think things are getting better in Japan, that they're starting to open things back up.
They're opening up all the Apple stores in Japan.
So I feel like that might change soon, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't always read the posts people make in that group. I'm just kind of skim through it, so.
Well, to answer your question, are we excited? Yes.
Also, I think DHL is still shipping. It's just like the regular post.
Will we want to get it? Yes. Will we want to get the other book? Yes. You know when we never got the one Itoi book about Iwata?
No, we didn't. We got the
one about Bullion.
Yeah, we have the Bullion book. It's actually still sealed. We haven't opened it since we went to Japan last April.
It has been a year.
Mm-hmm.
Can you read it? No. It's true. Someday, Mao might get good enough to read it to me. Like a bedtime story.
The miss says.
Would you do that?
If I get good enough. I haven't had any time to do anything.
One day if we live closer to Chaz, Chaz can read me bedtime stories from the Bullion book. Chaz is getting pretty good at Japanese. And I think Chaz would be willing to read me bedtime stories. I don't know why he wouldn't.
Maybe we'll live closer to Chaz and he and I can, talk and practice. And then he'll quiz me and then I'll freeze and not even think of the right words. and like all comprehension is gone. I'm just frozen.
Chaz is getting pretty good at reading.
Chaz is not your nanny, Stephen.
There's a lot of assumptions being made right now. Chaz, I know that if I asked you to read me a bedtime story, I feel like you would. I'd be all like I'd have the covers up here and go, and I'd shake a little bit like this because I'd be so excited because I haven't been read a bedtime story in weeks.
Do you think he'd do voices?
No.
Oh.
No. I mean, you know, you can only ask so much. That's asking too much. 17 months from Omega Cyborg. Thank you, Cyborg.
Coffee.
5 subs from Sophisticated Stoner to Edelyn, It's Me Siege, Bexy, Brit 9890, and Animator Ben. I got there. It took me a second. Stoner, thank you for the milk bombs. Padawan Becca gives a sub to Game Boy Player Disc Only. Of course that exists. Wonderful. As a reminder to everyone who came in late, next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, Game Boy Player Disc Only, the podcast, debuts over on twitch.tv/ProtonJohn. 300 bits from Hiley and Hero07. Last set of bits from me this morning, but thank you to everyone who gave me advice about YouTube, and I really do enjoy doing it. It's more of a passion hobby than anything. Love to do it, and love your content as well. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you. And, again, have fun. Like, we live in such a cool time that there is equipment readily available. For a lot of people, their phones can shoot like 4K video, which is wild. We live in a time where the equipment is available. The service is free. YouTube is free. Like unlimited video storage that you can like post something and the entire world can see it. It's such a cool time to live in. And, you know, I hope that everyone who wants to have fun trying this out does so. Because it's really great. I'm so glad that I was born at the time I was and not like 20 years earlier. I mean, like 10 or so later years wouldn't be awful either. Oh man, I could be Carlos. Imagine in 10 years,
yeah,
like right when like Carlos is my age,
mm-hmm.
he'll be experiencing stuff but younger than I am. What I'm trying to say is that I'll die first. 19 months from Dark Overlord, almost an hour late, but I'm here. Yay, 19. Thank you, our Dark Overlord. Congrats on 19. 9 months from Bucky Boy 2009, little smiley face there. 11 months from Samus 2008. Thank you, Samus. 2 months from Danny T. Appreciate it.
Not if I vanquish Carlos before that, Jules says. What type of monster is Carlos in the monster manual?
Carlos will remember that. Is that a threat? I don't know. Using challenge rating 21. Using the word vanquish implies that it's an honorable defeat. Yeah, it's not a homicide attempt if you use the word vanquish. That's a court thing. They look at the records and they say, "Well, it says here you did vanquish."
Not
him.
a lawyer.
Do you know that?
Yes.
I vanquished a lawyer. 300 bits from Nixelpad.
You went to art school.
Shh. What is lawyership other than a form of the arts? There's a lot of subjectivity. 300 bits from Nixelpad. Our question from Al. When you first started out, what were some of the first things you learned how to do? I've been considering getting started with art and creative writing and sewing and a bunch of other things, but I don't know where to start and I feel like I lack the creativity to be able to get started with anything.
I mean, the first thing I was interested in art-wise was photography, and that was in high school. And I took a class on it because I needed an elective, and I was like, that sounds fun. I like taking pictures. And so I took photography in high school, and we did a bunch of darkroom stuff, and my dad was really into me doing that because he had a film camera and really loved doing that too. So I went to college and I wanted to take photography again, so I took it as an elective, and then I was like, it'd be cool to teach photography. And they were like, you need to take art classes, which I had never done. And so I took drawing 1, and I was like, ooh, this is rough. But I feel like that was the starting point of me learning how to do things art-wise.
So, I mean, like,
drawing is a really great foundation for 2D art.
Well, drawing is a good foundation for a lot of things.
Yeah.
To be honest. I mean, like, even I had to take multiple drawing classes. And I am not a traditional artist, obviously. But, you know, I've had a lot of classes for drawing. And starting there seems like a pretty reasonable place.
I don't know who it was, but there's some SCAD alumni who has some sort of drawing course YouTube thing, and I don't remember the name, but Haley recommended it to someone at some point somewhere. I really like drawbox.com. I haven't gone through it, but I want to go through that.
Drawbox?
Drawabox.
Drawabox.
Yeah.
It sounds like my drawing 100 class.
Let me make sure that's right.
63 Phil said, Stephen, did drawing help with getting composition right? I mean...
Yeah, drawbox.com.
I mean, yeah, that's part of it. And one of the interesting things about, like, art school and taking all these different art classes, because there's so many art classes that are required, is that there's so much stuff that works together. And understanding, like, composition is a fundamental art thing. And, like, yeah, there's going to be some level of difference in design versus filmmaking, but not huge, you know, like there's certain rules in each, but there's also just a general, like, you develop an eye for composition, like, as a whole, you know what I mean? So all of the different art classes that I took, like, they did contribute collectively to, I mean, yeah, a general sense of art knowledge, but then also they helped for, like, you know, filmmaking. You know, and which
is why they had you take them.
Exactly. You know, and is it hard to justify, like, 2D art in relation to filmmaking? Like, a little bit, because that professor was nuts. But, you know, as a whole, yeah, I think I like learned some things that helped.
Basically, drawing is a good foundation.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, I think everyone should draw. Like, I feel like that's just a really good way to express yourself. Like, and you don't have to be an artist. You don't have to, like, make something and post it on DeviantArt. Is DeviantArt a thing still? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Anyway, like, just as a way of expressing yourself. Like, even if you're at an office job and you're doodling, like, in the corner of your paper, like, it's such a great way to express. You don't have to be a great artist. Like, you're going to do your own thing. And for some people, drawing is not, I'm drawing, you know, humanoid figures or whatever. For some people, they like to draw...
Zentangles or...
Yeah, I was going to say shapes, you know? And, like, that's great. Like, there's, you know, art's important. Art's important. And I think art is important to everyone. The idea that there's anyone out there that's like, I don't do anything related to art. I'm like, I don't believe you. I feel like everyone has got something, some way to contribute to the world of art in some way. And for some people, it might be maybe you take pictures in a game. Because there's a lot of, like, games now, like Animal Crossing is a good example of, like, allowing you to, and a bunch of the PlayStation games do that, like Uncharted and things like that. Maybe you take pictures inside of games, and that's totally valid, and that is a form of expression. Anyway, I you know, it's important. Art's really important to me, and if I get on a soapbox about it, I will be here all day. But it's important for people to express themselves. Anyway, where was I? 16 months from Opie SSBM. 16 months. Thank you, Opie. Sealed Mink 46714 subs. Welcome. Got a 3-month sub from Mizuki Celestine. I did it. Congrats on your plus. 300 bits from Ambi Walsh. Steven, please can we have a Steven Hoedown as a donation goal for Coliseum? Every 25,000 or 50,000 perhaps. As the event gets closer and we are 100% sure that we are going to do a physical event, we'll figure it out. So I don't want to like spoil my plans.
Don't.
But just so people know, and we're all on the same page, the idea of doing a hoedown was an idea for Coliseum, like for this. I mean, vaguely for last year, vaguely, but for this year before it became
digital.
And with how many people have enjoyed it, it's almost certainly a thing for next year. So, yeah, I've had a long-term plan for something similar. So yeah, get excited. Assuming that we all meet in person next year. 700 bits from Item Crafting Live. You're moving closer and closer to a full Who's Line block next Coliseum. What? And I'm all for this. Might I suggest the name Whose Controller Is It Anyway? That's a cute name. It's a cute name. Again, no spoilers. But I can't keep talking, or I will spoil everything.
Too far in the future to play it.
And
right
it is also too far in the future. 300 bits from Nixelpad. So once we reach the after times, do you think we'll still have 2-hour streams, or will you try to cut us off? As a general rule, what I try to do is let Breakfast Stream proceed naturally. I have a pretty good amount of power in the flow, because the amount of time that I spend on alerts, like as individual alerts, dictates where we're going. 90 minutes is a better time, I think, for aiming. But I also fully believe that one of the reasons that we've hit 2 hours so consistently is just because of there's so many extra people watching. They've just naturally gotten longer. So I think that they'll naturally be shorter. I don't think that I'll have to cut anyone off. But do I know that for sure? I don't. I'm not entirely certain. 30 bits from Danny X6. This is me raising my hand about lurking. When I'm not donating bits to make you sing not dirty songs, I'm lurking. I emerge from the dark cavern that is watching while at work to join the chaos. So many songs with the hashtag family friendly to remind me. Danny, you should. The song should really happen on Fridays where I don't feel as bad. Where it's not as much, there's not as many mental gymnastics to do. Because on Tuesday and Thursday mornings, there's some extra mental gymnastics of like, okay, be good. Sing about this thing that is clearly pushing you in every bad direction, but make it good.
Plus you just got up.
Yeah. And then on days like today where, we didn't fall asleep until 3-something.
Yeah.
Coffee.
I'm like, all right. And it's like, all right, make a rhyme and don't use any of the naughty words. And I'm like, but those are the only ones I can think of. In the mornings when I first wake up, just all the naughty words lined up next to each other, and it's just a mental exercise to not say them for 2 hours. I try. 300 bits from Prince, who says, next Stephen and Mal, let's play Duolingo. The free language app as they work together to learn Japanese and help me as I go through it as well. Probably not, but it'd be cool if you did. Are you still doing it?
No.
Okay.
I've been too busy.
No, it's not. It's not meant to be a shot. I was just asking. I think just Chaz still does it. Chaz has kept up with it. Did you? I started Duolingo once. Mm-hmm. For something. I think it was to relearn Spanish. Is that what I used it for?
I don't know. I thought Esperanto would be cool to learn.
Or maybe we started Esperanto.
I wanted to. You didn't do Esperanto.
I must have restarted Spanish.
I think you did.
Yeah, I restarted Spanish for like a few days, and then I was like, I don't want to do this. This is taking too much time. I'm just going to pass. But maybe one day, if I have a little more time.
I wish you'd do Japanese with me.
Mallory,
because that would help.
Do you have any idea how hard that would be?
If we do it together.
I'd have to learn, like, at least Spanish I kind of have some idea.
You would be fine.
What's the word for bathroom?
Toire?
Toire.
It's an RL.
Tourlay.
Not that part of the word.
It's a good song for this. There's so much to learn. The song's always reminded me of the old show Zoom.
I kind of want to go through Duolingo Russian. Not all of it, but just a little bit so I can learn a few words. Russian sounds so cool to me.
Maybe. Yeah, the PBS show. Enough so you can sing the Conrad song. Maybe sometime, Mal, in the future, we will learn Japanese together.
We just could do like 2 things a night.
How long does it take?
To go through a module? Or like 2 lessons?
If I was going to do this in the evenings, like how long would it take? Also, I'm tense here. Good God.
20 minutes?
Like a brick.
Chaz, how much time does it take to go through like the 2 lessons to get the like 20 XP they want you to get?
Like 20 minutes.
It's not that much. 5 minutes, Thomas says.
Okay.
10 minutes for the French course with 2 modules.
40 hours a day and you'll learn Russian in a week. I don't think you would. I think that there's some amount of time that the language has to like cook. You have to cook it.
Absorb what you're learning.
Yeah, like you can't. Yeah, and you got to use it too. So that being said, I've talked about it before. Like of all of the languages, the one that would be most interesting and probably valuable would be Japanese.
Because we plan to go back someday.
Yeah. First 20 on the language. No. Okay, well, we'll talk about it later. But maybe. 3 months from Terrible99. I don't think I've ever been here live for breakfast stream because I'm on the West Coast and it's 7 a.m. right now. I'm glad I could catch one of these live. Well, welcome.
Good morning.
And good morning to you. I hope you're having a good morning over on the West Coast. Waking up early's not so bad. Personally, I wish we could get up at 6. I don't know when that's happening, but hopefully. Got 300 bits from Item Crafting Live. Stephen, your college vlogs have turned the phrase Chinese art exam into a common phrase for obtuse challenge or impediment in my family. Thought you might like that you're having a lasting impact on language. I mean, I just get PTSD from the phrase Chinese art exam. Also, a reminder that one time I learned some Mandarin.
Long before you went to China.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I don't remember any of it. And it was a little frustrating, or very frustrating, to be like, we're going to study Chinese art. And then the professor being like, actually, I'm going to teach you a language.
Chaz, here's the aim sound effect.
Doggone it. That whole thing made me mad.
The short story is that Stephen had a final for Chinese art history, and he went to the second to last class, assuming it would be a review for the last class final, and turns out
No.
And he had skipped the one before.
Here.
There's 3 classes to go. He skipped one of them, And then he went to the next one thinking it would be the review for the final. And it turns out the professor was like, no, the day you skipped was the review, today's the final, and there's no last class. And then Stephen had to take a final without preparing.
Me and Taylor both.
Yeah.
Me and Taylor took that class together, and we both were, because it was near the end of the quarter, there was other stuff going on, and we had stuff to do. And, we were like, well, we'll just skip this class, we'll go in the next one for the review, and then we'll be all reviewed up for the exam. And when we went in for the review, they handed out the exam. And
that was difficult, but you passed.
I BS'd so much. So a lot of it was Thomas says, and on Saturday you said you basically never skip classes.
Well, you couldn't.
I really didn't.
You couldn't skip many because if you skip more than 3, you would fail.
Yeah, you weren't allowed. You could skip 4.
Oh, okay.
If you skipped a 5th class, you instantly failed it. It's SCAD. And yeah, I almost never skipped classes, but there are times when things are so hectic and busy and you're working on other things. It's like I really need to focus on other stuff. And in my head, I had not missed any days in Chinese art.
Because you didn't take 8 a.m. classes.
And I was like, I'm just gonna skip this one, and I'll go in for the review, so I'll be ready for the exam. And then they give out the exam, and I was so mad. And the reason I was so mad is because the professor
claimed it was on the syllabus and that he had talked about it all year.
He was such a lying sack of crap. Very mad about this still to this day. I had been to every class, and there had never been a mention of this. When we go in, on that second to last day, he starts handing out the exam, and, me and Taylor are looking at each other like...
Did you have the syllabus?
Yes!
Did you read through and
Yes! Check? Yes! This was something that he... What happened is he did it the day that... He announced it the day that we weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
And me and Taylor didn't have any friends that were in the class, so they didn't, warn us or anything. So we just didn't know. So whenever I went in to do the review, and it was the exam, me and Taylor are freaking out. Thomas, you don't know Jack Diddley. You weren't there. Thomas, I teach at the college. You did not read the syllabus. I did. I always read the syllabus. You had to read the syllabus because you had to know what text to buy. Tell me I didn't read the syllabus. Come on, I'll make him sing. So anyway, still so mad about this. So
Alex has all of his syllabuses and stuff saved in folders.
Well, he didn't take the class with me, so that's the thing.
I know.
So here's the problem though. When this was happening, me and Taylor were looking at each other like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I decided that I was just gonna go for it. And I walked up to the front of the class. God, I hate this. This is my least favorite college moment.
Calm down. Move on.
Well, in case people haven't heard the story, I walked up to
told the story.
I walked up to the front of the class, and I asked the professor, I was like, I thought today was the review. And instead of saying no, he then made an example of me in front of the entire class, where he stood up and yelled and said, class, how long have I been saying that the exam would be the day before and that there would be no final class? And he pointed to the one goody two-shoes that sat in the front and was like, how long have I said this? Have I said it since the first day? And the guy's like, yes, you have said it since the first day. And I was thinking, I honest to God have never wanted to choke slam someone so hard in my life. But I was thinking that's probably not a good way to end my college career. But yeah, that's what he did. He said, well, I have been announced since the first day that the exam would be today. And I'm thinking, first off, you definitely didn't. But there's no way I can win this now. And the thing that sucks is that, like, by doing that, I knew that it was, you know, crappy for me no matter what, but by doing that, I basically told him, hello, I am not prepared for this in any way whatsoever. Make sure you pay really close attention to my exam where I will be writing whatever. But yeah, it was, instead of just, you know, instead of just being like, no, the exam is today. No, he had to make a big thing. It's okay, he probably didn't know your name. Oh, he didn't. He definitely didn't. Anyway, yeah. I got a C in that class. Which is pretty good. But it's also the only class in college I ever got C in. I made A's and B's and everything else, and I made a C in that class. And I don't think I ever found out... I don't think I ever found out what I made on that exam. But I remember you were visiting in the summer, and I was waiting, like, with bated breath for my report card to come, because I was freaked out. Because the thing is, with the way my scholarship was set up, if your GPA gets below a certain level, you lose all of your scholarship money, which was like $50,000. So I was like...
I don't think we were allowed to have finals on any day except the final.
You'd think that would be a thing!
I thought it was like, it was a rule, I'm pretty sure, at my college.
Yeah. Anyway.
Because they wanted to make sure you were there on that very last day.
And as Alxame said, Stephen, I got a D in college. It's inconsequential in the grand scheme. Yeah, and I've gotten better about that as I've gotten older. And I mean, even then I was good about it, but like, in that moment in time, it is a bad. And there can be a lot of stress in your life for very specific tiny moments that literally in the grand scheme of things, you know, I'm always thinking, like, anytime I get upset about something, I just think, pale blue dot. Nothing matters. Pale blue dot. It's like we are one of billions of planets in the universe, and like whatever.
See, I was always mad. I got 1D in college when I took statistics.
Thank you, Chess.
And my advisor, because I was undeclared at the time, was like, you'll need a math class, take stats. They were like, it'll be easy, take stats. And I got a D. And I was always pretty good at, like, math and equations and stuff. And then, like, halfway through the semester, I went to see my advisor for planning for the next semester. Mm-hmm. She's like, how's that stats class going? I'm like, it's really hard, and I don't get why. And she goes, well, who do you have? And I told her, and she goes, oh yeah, we've been having trouble with that professor. And I was like, cool! And then I got a D.
Dobie said, but how many of those planets got a Final Fantasy VII remake? We don't know! We can't know for sure. I imagine that there's some other planet over, like, in a neighboring galaxy that they got the full thing. Darn it. I need to find out for science. Anyway, yeah. I've definitely told that story before. I had to take a tangent. I was like,
you had to take a very long
tangent. I'm sorry. It was important. The professor...
yeah, move on.
He didn't handle it right.
Move on.
He didn't handle it right.
No, he didn't. Move on.
It was very unprofessional of him. 300 bits from Shishu Sama says, oh my god, for Who's Line, can Jules be the TRG Who's Line equivalent of Laura Hall and Linda Taylor? Yes. Yes. I mean, actually, I would love to see, you know, basically the musicians play music and then have people and then have people do it. And Jules is on board. Perfect. You know Tyler would do it. You know Tyler would sing. Whether or not we can let him do that and he can get through it without saying words that are not allowed, you know, that are allowed to be said, I don't know. But would he be down for doing it? Sure. 2 months from Amita Corey. Appreciate it. Thank you. 300 bits from Satsy. What's bathroom in Japanese? Otirai was bouncing in my subconscious, so I looked it up, and yes, it's restroom. I've memorized more than I thought. I told you, it takes time to cook. You know, this 40 hours a day thing. 40 hours a day. 40 hours a day. That seems hard. It just now clicked that 40 hours a day is impossible.
See, that word's a lot harder. That's why I taught you the...
Toy day?
The loan word, yeah. I figured that would get you far enough.
Well, I mean, I also, you know, I told you when we went to Japan. Like, if I have to go to the bathroom, I will find a way to get people to know what I'm talking about. I don't have enough shame to go up to not go up to someone and just point to my butt and go, and I'll get there. I know I will.
Yikes.
Remembering certain words is very hard, but Toy Day, I probably remembered. Probably remembered that. 5 months from Joel Dre. Thank you. 21 months from Existential Joker. 21, huh? Guess my sub is legal for something. Cheers to more toast, Peggy, and impromptu songs. Cheers, Joker. Thank you. Sub is legal for... Well, it's months, not years. It depends how you look at it. 21 months also from Bailey, Baster09, who says, hi. Hi, Baster. Hope you're doing well. 12 months. 12 months. Thank you, Mallory. From SkullKid442. Calm down, Steven. I get passionate about Chinese art. What can I say? 500 bits from Courtney D. Smith. As an engineering student, there have been plenty of times where I would skip a class to do work for another class. At my university, they made the engineering students take 6 classes a semester, where a normal student would normally take 4 or 5 max. I mean, it's just a thing that you have to do, and especially I mean, I can't speak for like art school as a general concept, but like where I went to school, for most of the classes, you're building towards a project. So like you're working on making a project.
Yeah.
And if you've got multiple things to do, you get close to the end of the semester, or the end of the quarter, as it were, and like you just gotta pick and choose. That's just kind of how it is. Although, in some of my later my later years, I picked some easy stuff. That was by design. 300 bits from Phoenix Nova. The idea of Steven turning into Ric Flair and chopping that Chinese art teacher before chokeslamming him through a table was something I would have loved to see. Maybe in an alternate timeline/universe where Steven's a badass who plays by his own rules. Woo! It's for all the wrestling fans.
That was really loud.
I mean, certainly you would have known that...
No. I've never watched wrestling.
If someone mentions Ric Flair...
I don't... What? I don't even know who that is.
If someone mentions Ric Flair, I'm gonna do the woo. I'm gonna do the woo.
Please don't. It's really... It hurt.
That should be the next secret alert.
No.
It's when it says Ric Flair, there's a little Ric Flair that goes, woo!
No.
It's a good one. It's a good one. Virginia says, educate her, Steven. Immediately after the stream.
No.
Immediately after the stream. 3 months from Juliet27. 3 months. Ric Flair. It says woo. I'm not going to do it. I just think it's funny because that's immediately... It's fine. 300 bits from Elena123. Once I had 3 exams on consecutive days. The first one was hard and the other 2 were easy, so I was like, okay, I'll just study the night before. Spent the second evening studying for exam 2, went there, couldn't find it, double-checked while panicking and realized it was actually exam 3 that day. Ooh, I feel bad for you. So I got there late and with no prep at all and somehow passed with a C. Probably barely passed the exam with a lot of BS. That one was 100% my fault though. But you passed. Which is how I feel about my situation too. It's like, well, but I passed. And like, so much of art is subjective. So it works in your favor, but also against you. And you know, looking back on it, I don't know if me telling the professor that I was completely unprepared, did that hurt me? Did it help me? Did he have like some level of sympathy later? Or, like Thomas said, did he just never remember my name, so he didn't know either way? I just remember writing in circles.
Move on.
I did it. I read through the alerts. I moved on. Crafting says, Mal, I'm sorry I started this tangent. It's something I'm passionate about. It's something I'm passionate about. And I haven't talked about in a long time.
Kepler's all curled up, sleepy.
But I'm very glad it's over. It's like a lot of times when I hear people talking about, college and stuff, I think, man, I don't miss that. Do you think he watches? No, I don't believe that my Chinese art professor watches breakfast stream. Probably not. Probably not. I mean, maybe, but probably not. Let's announce what things are coming out today. For you, it's nothing.
Yeah. So I have no idea.
So you have no idea. Smash Brothers is back on. Today's Rob, the robotic operating buddy. That's his episode. I have finished all of the alerts today. The feeling inside is of hip hip hooray. It feels really good. I no longer have a hurt because I have done it. I have read all the alerts. I've read all the alerts. Ding. Thank you, Nixelpad. How do you feel after reading all the alerts? I feel pretty good. Making it happen before we get to 2 hours, which is generally the goal. Generally. See, they liked that one.
I think there's some cat hair on my face.
It's because
my face is super itchy.
I'm legally not allowed to rhyme weak and thing anymore, so fair. Let's see, other things. That's it.
Yeah, just Smash.
And then, of course...
It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, and then, of course, the podcast debuts next week at 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you can't catch it live, it'll be on John's channel. If you can't catch it live, it'll be out within a few days on, if I can remember what Dan said, iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. I do not know what Stitcher is, but it must be a podcast thing. Yeah. Fosdick says, will you be hosting it here? If I remember. If someone has power to do it, they can host it here. But, I don't know. I don't know if I'll remember. Baster said, so that's a no. I think Chaz has the power to do that. I think. So maybe we'll remember. Someone bug me when it gets closer and I'll do it. 19 months from ComCody20 who says, here. And there's apostrophe, so I'm imagining that maybe there was more to the message. But I like to imagine instead that it's Cody saying, here, like present. I'll accept that. Cody says, totally was. Yeah, I mean, there's... It looks like it was supposed to be like here's, but then it just says here. That's okay. I just imagine that there's more there. The enter key is a fickle thing. It is. I get a lot of that on Patreon comments, because on Patreon, if you hit return at all, it just sends it. And I have to try and teach people that they have to hold shift. If you don't hold shift and do it, it'll just send. Mm-hmm. I guess it works that way on Twitch too. Anyway, Cody, thank you for 19 months. I appreciate it. 15 months from Adudo says, okay, so last September I took a graphic design class, and on the first assignment, teacher never taught us how to compile and never told us the due date. Me and all the kids around were like, WTF. Then later he gave us another assignment and didn't give a date. Imagine being a college professor. Imagine being a college professor and being able to basically do whatever you want. Thank you, Odoodle. And Cody says, proud to be 19 months in, hope for many more. Thanks, Cody. And 3 bits from Andrew in the kitchen who says, here, present and accounted for. Remember, the exam is second to last day of the month. That's today.
Yeah.
Your exam's today. I hope everyone's prepared.
See, I had a professor in graphic design that was like, I'm not going to teach you. Just watch all these videos on how to use Photoshop and Illustrator, and then you have this project. Go.
Oh my god, I was in that class.
Yeah, we would FaceTime.
That's right. That's right.
There's only like 5 of us in the class.
I remember because
and I had to sit there and watch these tutorial videos and then work on my project, and he would just be in the room.
The reason I remember that you would have questions about stuff
because he would make us watch the videos, and then he would basically go over them and do the exact same thing.
Yeah, and if you had questions, he would like come by and like show you stuff, but he was not very good at it.
No.
And I remember that we would be on...
Because what was the name of the code that made the photos pop up?
What?
There was a special thing, because we had to make a portfolio website, is one of our projects. And you taught me HTML and a little bit of CSS. So I could do it right instead of just using Dreamweaver.
Yeah.
Chaz, the code that makes photos pop up? Show? Was it Lightbox? It was Lightbox.
Lightbox.
And you worked with me to get Lightbox working on my site, and I did it. And then the professor was like, that's really cool. Can you teach the rest of the class how to do that?
That's right.
But they weren't using code. They were just using Dreamweaver.
And yeah, and that was also during a time where Dreamweaver was bad.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Dreamweaver would make a working site, sure, but your code would be, like, diarrhea.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know. Oh, hey, milk bombs.
Anyway, that was a class I took.
Thank you, Simple Recordings.
And I don't remember the tutorials we had to watch. They were, like, the ones the school paid for.
Sorry, Satsy dropping the Homestead. Oh my God, Homestead! I have lived a long life. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that. I remember now. Mao and I would be video chatting during her class, and then like when the professor would walk by, she would just like minimize me. And then he'd leave and we'd go back to chatting, and I would help Mao through that, and I was more helpful than the professor. Because I was like, I want to do this. And I'm like, here, just this is how you do it. And she's like, okay. Yeah. Also, that's like full extent of my coding knowledge. There's a particular part of my life where I was really interested in websites and doing web design and stuff. And now I'm like, nope, it's a big pain. I want to use one of those, what's the site they're always advertising, like Squarespace or Wix? I need to remake the site from scratch. There's 11 gift subs from Simple Recordings went to Yo Dragon M, Random Joining, Leafy Dance, Sean the Batman, Fleur de Lune, Captain Morebeard, Tommy Tunes 01, Legend of Melissa, Rat Baby, Garpos, and DJ Kaizo. Simple Recordings, thank you. I appreciate that. 300 bits from Nara A. Kitsune. Happy birthday to you all on this, my day of birth.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Got a few birthdays this morning. Thank you, Nara. And then 575 bits from Baster says, don't mind me, I just want to unlock the cheer emote. Reasonable. Thank you, Baster. Feels birthday, man. Alright. I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up there. Thank you all for being here this morning. Obviously, we'll be back on Thursday at 9 for another breakfast stream.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, Mal's painting's coming along. Should be out no problem this weekend. And, can we get a song about Chaz? Chaz is a friend of mine. I've known him for a while. He is a good guy. He always makes me smile. He is full of knowledge and he can think... Oh, nope. Nope, that could be misconstrued. Like, nope, let's redo that one. Family friendly. Ooh, yep, shut that one down. Shut that one down. Let's just hit it again and see what happens.
See what happens. We already saw what happened.
Well, let's think of some different words. Chaz is a friend of mine. He is quite a guy. Every time I see him, I'm always asking why. He knows so much about a computer's abode. He can get in there. He's a hacker. He knows code. He is not a hacker. And you know what? You might be thinking, that song wasn't that great, but trust me, the first one was so much worse. So much worse. The word load has to be used in a particular way, and the sentence structure of that sentence where it was going was the wrong way. It was the wrong way. Yeah. 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 Anyway, that was from Simple Recordings. Can we get a song about Chaz? You can get two, in fact. One bad and one worse, but halfway. Thanks for watching. We will see you all on Thursday at 9 for another breakfast stream.